Welcome to Stache Sports, episode 17. Last night's Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl was not close. Indiana won 56-22, but Oregon got a touchdown near the end to make the bleeding look less effective. But Indiana came in like they did against Alabama and just smashed the Oregon Ducks. That team looked all complete. Their defense is really good right now. They've made Oregon quarterback, he's supposed to be a top 10 quarterback, not look as good as he was going into that game. They also have a really good quarterback, Mendoza, who showed that he should be the number one pick to the Las Vegas Raiders, even though I want him to come to my Pittsburgh Steelers because we need a quarterback of the future, and I think Mendoza is going to be a really good quarterback in the NFL. But now they'll be going to face Miami on January 19th in the College Football National Championship game. But so far, if you're a betting man and you're going to bet on this game, I'd probably be betting on Indiana because they went into Alabama and crushed Alabama. And yes, I know you could say Alabama hasn't been good this year because they have 3 losses and they don't have Nick Saban as their coach. But they still crushed Alabama. And then they came in and crushed Oregon, who only had 1 loss. And previous year, the team, when they played Oregon previously this year, they only won by 10. But this time they won 56-22. Back-to-back blowout wins by Indiana. I think it's a safe bet to say that they might win the whole thing. But who knows? Miami's defense could show up, and Miami could be a decent competitor, but we'll see. That's why you watch the games. But Indiana has really turned around the last few years in college football. They have gone from being one of the teams that no one knows about, because no one really knew about Indiana had a football team or they were any of that good. But now we're in 2 years after getting Coach Shinetti, who was a hot shot, and saying that he never lost, which is proven to this year because he hasn't lost a game yet. Comes in firing with the best of them, and is now in the College Football National Championship game after taking Indiana, a team that's not known for football, to the promised land after 2 years of coaching. And yes, I know people might say that they have a lot of NIL money. I heard that Mark Cuban's helping them, but at least he's building a team around there, and at least he's building a team even though if it's in NIL or whatever, transfer portal, where players can come and go as they please because the other schools might offer them more money and they might get more endorsement deals. But we'll see but Indiana is now 1 game away from being in the College Football National Championship game, which is going to be a good game, I think. But who knows? I thought this would be a good game, but Indiana came in and smashed them. But, I mean, it was a good game, watching the football team complete and watching them get the interception and watching them get the block punt and all the touchdowns by Mendoza, who looks like I said, could be the number 1 draft pick this year for NFL. I'm going to the Las Vegas Raiders, where careers go to die. I'm kidding. That's a joke. Tonight, in pro football, we have the Carolina Panthers and the Los Angeles Rams at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I think the Rams are going to win, and I don't think it's going to be close. The Panthers only got in because the Falcons messed up, or the Falcons won a couple games, and the Buccaneers lost some games. Even though the Buccaneers won and beat the Panthers still got in because the Falcons beat the Saints, and somehow the mathematical numbers put the Panthers in, even though the Panthers don't have a winning record. And the Panthers get a home game because they're the conference champion, they're the NFC South champions, so they get a home game, even though the Los Angeles Rams are a lot better record than they have. But I think the Rams win because I think Matthew Stafford is on track to maybe be the MVP candidate this year for the pro football. And him with Puka Nacua, I think it's too much for the Carolina Panthers defense to stop. And I think Sean McVay has the Los Angeles Rams defense show up against Bryce Young. I don't know what the betting odds on this game are, but I'm pretty sure they're in favor of the Rams. I'm pretty sure in the favor of the Los Angeles Rams. So we'll see what happens with the Rams tonight at 4. Also tonight we have the Packers and Bears. Oh my. The Packers and Bears are division rivals. Even though the Packers have lost to the Bears recently, I think the Packers might show up tonight and win and beat the Packers and beat the Bears, even though they're the 7th seed with Jordan Love, or the Bears will win. That's going to be a good game. I'm glad that's a night game because I think that's going to be a lot better game than the Carolina Panthers and Los Angeles Rams, unless if you're a Los Angeles Rams fan. But we will see what happens. We will see what happens with that. As I said, I think Matthew Stafford is an MVP candidate this year. Either him or maybe Drake May for the Patriots, even though I don't like the Patriots. One of those two guys is a candidate. And Matthew Stafford has looked really good this year in that offense. He has made the Los Angeles Rams one of the top teams. If it wasn't for a couple losses to the Seahawks, maybe the Los Angeles Rams would have been the number 1 seed in the whole NFC. But they lost to Seattle, making Seattle the number 1 seed. But the Los Angeles Rams win tonight and move on. And the Packers and Bears, I think, is a coin flip. I don't know. It's going to be interesting but to see how good Ben Johnson can do as a rookie head coach in the playoffs, and to see if Caleb Williams can hold under pressure in the playoffs in this game, because this is a playoff game for his first playoff game for Caleb Williams. So we'll be able to see how good he can do under pressure of the playoffs, and to see if the Packers can get him, because the Packers have played him twice this year. So that's going to help when they know each other better, too. It's the Packers and the more of a rivalry. But we'll see what happens. I don't know. That's going to be an interesting game. It's going to be interesting to see if Caleb Williams can show up. It doesn't fall under the pressure of the playoff game. Then I think the Bears might be able to pull out and win. Either that or maybe the Packers. Let's just say the Bears win tonight in a close game against the Packers. I think that's how I picked in my bracket challenge. But I think the Bears win, and I think the Rams win today. I think the Bears game's going to be closer, but who knows? That's why we watch the football games. Maybe the Panthers show up since they're in Carolina and make that a game, even if they don't win. But we will see. But we will see what happens. Also tonight, the Pittsburgh Penguins look to continue their winning streak to 7 games as they play the Calgary Flames out of Canada in Pittsburgh at 3:30 p.m. At 3:30 p.m., they look to take on the Calgary Flames, and hopefully they beat the Flames. Hopefully Crosby can get a goal tonight, or Malkin can get a goal, because Malkin's finally back. And in the first game, he got a goal. Malkin needs to continue his goal streak on his win streak, and hopefully we can get to 7 games after coming off an 8-game losing streak previously in a couple videos past. It's finally good to see that the Penguins might be on a 7-game winning streak after today's game against the Flames, and getting the much needed points they need in the playoffs before it gets to near the end. But we will see what happens with the Pittsburgh Penguins tonight. We will see what happens with the Pittsburgh Penguins and see what happens. And hopefully the Penguins can win. Hopefully Crosby, our captain, can get a goal. And if we have Stuart Skinner playing, hopefully he keeps playing up to his subpar play that he's been playing in the recent games. A lot better than he'd been playing when he first got traded to the Penguins. I was not happy with the trade at first. I mean, I was happy because we got rid of Tristan Jarry, who I think is so inconsistent and injury-prone. But we got a rental, but he wasn't looking good. But now he's looking better, and the Penguins are looking like they could be a playoff contender. Hopefully they can win tonight and go on to a 7-game win streak against the Calgary Flames. I think Crosby lights the lamp tonight, and I think Malkin can light the lamp tonight in Pittsburgh. We will see tomorrow if I'm right when we do our recap about the Penguins and talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars game tomorrow and talk about the Eagles game and the 49ers game and the other game between Chargers and Patriots. But tomorrow we'll do all those picks and see who I think is going to win tomorrow's game. As we said before in the video, I think Indiana has back-to-back wins and showing that they belong. Indiana has beat down both of the teams they played. Will it happen again? Who knows? You'll have to find out what I think in a later video when that comes around. Thank you for watching Stache Sports episode 17. If you have any comments, please leave them down below. If you have anything I can talk about, please let them know. As I said before, I think the Rams win tonight, and I think the Bears win tonight. Or the Packers. That one is a toss-up. I think the Bears win, we'll just say. And the Rams. And the Penguins, of course. But this is Stache Sports signing off. If you have any comments, please leave them below. If I can